Hello, my awesome crew. Today we're going to talk about the Earth shift from 3D to 5D, research done by Delores Cannon, and Ascension Symptoms that I wish I would have been told before I thought I was dying, so you can flow with the shift and learn how to let go. So here we go. Delores Cannon was a hypnotherapist in the 70s and 80s. She started taking patients into the deepest states of hypnosis called the somnambulistic states. Don't quote me on how to pronounce that. But these were states of hypnosis dealing with the subconscious. Now, most therapists at the time refused to take patients into these deep states, so she was the pioneer of this technique, and it was later coined quantum healing hypnosis technique, or QHHT. Once the patient was in this state, they would often give knowledge of other worlds, beings, and even past lives. When more and more patients from across the world that didn't even know each other started saying the same things about the Earth splitting into two different timelines or worlds, it started a whole new perspective on consciousness. This is also because ancient cultures and writings from across the world have prophecies that are on the very same subject. These people spoke of the Earth calling out to help the Ascension shift and the waves of volunteers that were incarnating on the planet in order to help humanity shift into a new dimension. In order to shift over, we're seeing an upheaval of violence and chaos across the Earth. Many of our own cultures talk about the shift in the Western world. We know about the apocalypse, which I told you actually means the lifting of the veil and not the end of humanity. As we talked about before, we are one, and we have to see all of these things happen in order to make a change. We will be seeing many of our old systems crumble. This means that we're seeing some crazy shit happen right in front of our eyes right now. Although it has been a gradual change in the years before 2020, it is now being shown at such a fast rate because we are now in the eye of the needle in order to see what's being hidden. Hence 2020 vision. It's like a funnel. At the top is a bigger swirl, and it would take a bit longer to get all the information to be downloaded. But then towards the exit or the entry point, we're getting thrown into higher frequencies. The Schumann resonance is also raising up, which is like the heartbeat of the Earth, and we have to match it or else we get taken out. This is what Delores Cannon's patients were all talking about. The Earth is purging all of the darkness in order to shift the collective into higher realms. Don't forget that we came here knowing these things. So we knew there was darkness, and we knew that we had what it took to get us through this shift and into the light to shift it over in the first place. We are a part of source energy, so a part of God. And we knew that consciousness was going to fall centuries ago. We also knew what it was going to take in order to wake ourselves up. So here we are. Now, in order to shift our frequencies into higher realms and move with the new Earth, or the fifth dimension, our energetic bodies have to change with the Earth. These are called Ascension Symptoms. In my very first video, I talk about some of the things that I felt when I was going through my awakening, and believe me, I can tell you that it can make you feel like you're dying. Before I continue, I must add that I am not a doctor. I did, however, go to the doctor hundreds of times just to try to get a diagnosis in order to get better, but each time they would do blood work and testing, I would fix every single thing by what I was eating and meditation. But some of these symptoms wouldn't go away no matter what I did. I wish someone would have told me these things so that I could have relaxed into it and went with the flow instead of trying to swim upstream. I also know that there are a ton of symptoms and that everyone is different because of your specific traumas and energetic blockages. When we amp up in frequency, we also need to let go of the old traumas and allow the light to flow within our energetic bodies once again. Through each blockage, it's different and individualized for each set of symptoms for each person. However, these were some of mine. Dizziness. I can tell you that I was walking around and I felt like I was going to float off of the planet. Vertigo would set in and I would be spinning. I also felt like my physical body was going to drop on the floor like a wetsuit, and my soul was going to get up and start walking out and wander around and wonder why everybody was losing their minds. I wanted to detach from my body because I was uncomfortable. This would happen especially when I was talking about spiritual things and like when I was talking about some of the things that I was reading about. Misplacement. I would be driving on the same road that I had driven on for years to take my kids to school, and all of a sudden I would look around and feel like I had never been there before. Of course I had. I have driven on that road every single day, 4 times a day for years. I would look around and think to myself, did I take a wrong turn? I thought I was insane and I was going to have a nervous breakdown. I wasn't. Vision changes. Sometimes I would even get double vision. I've always had 20/20, but I was constantly in the eye doctors with complaints of not being able to see or blurry vision. I would have them look at my eyes and they were perfectly fine. I ended up getting prism lenses to try to align my eyes. They didn't make anything look different. I was also seeing sparks of light in the corners of my eyes, as well as colors changing right in front of me. Streaks of blue and white were very common for me. This is the veil being lifted right in front of your eyes. You'll soon be able to see the other side because it's like a fan blade. If you're staring at your fan that's circulating at a fast rate, you know it's there, but you can see right through it and don't realize that it's actually right in front of your eyes. Slow it back down and you'll be able to see the blade blocking your vision once again. The frequency of higher dimensions also runs faster, so it's harder for your eyes to see because you've been locked into the 3D. Once you tune your frequency to the higher dimension, you're going to start seeing the higher dimension. You'll start seeing 5D or even beyond that for some. This is where the realm of heaven comes into play. Those who've crossed over are going to start becoming seen because now you're raising up to their world. You'll see that they have never left you and it will be so exciting for you. I do believe that it states something like that in the Bible, so correct me if I'm wrong here. The dead will rise. No, it's not a zombie apocalypse. It's your ability to finally be in the higher realms. Of course, this means you'll be able to see them without crossing over yourself, so don't freak out on that one. Physical changes, electrical sensations, body pains, and exhaustion. Take it easy. You're actually growing spiritually. It's almost like a growth spurt when you were a kid. Your bones in your body will ache. I could actually feel electricity amping up in my body. Now, this freaked me out. I could have sworn that I was dying over this one. It's like tingling all over your body, like you stuck your finger in an electric socket. I would be laying there feeling these things and thinking, oh my God, that's it. I'm gonna drop dead. You're not. Your body is made of energy and it's rising up. Sometimes you just feel it more than others. Also, things like rashes and other things can come up because your body is actually purging out old traumas, so be gentle on yourself. Headaches and migraine. When you were born, you had plates in the top of your head in order to move through the birth canal. But it also created a soft spot on the top of your head. This is called the fontanelle. The main energy meridians on your physical body run from your perineum, or to be more blunt, your taint, and run all the way up like a funnel through each chakra and out of the top of your head where that fontanelle closed up. Then it continues to run back and circulate and creates your energy aura or your energy body. And it also is the part of the toroidal field or the Merkaba. But I'm not a genius on all of that, so I'll stop here so you can research it for yourself because I'll botch it. Anyway, with so much energy and high frequency being pumped into you, it can also cause some head pain. You can also get what's called a vestibular migraine, and it can actually feel dizzy without an actual headache. Because it's in your inner ear where your balance is, this is all a part of the third eye activation. Your pineal gland has been calcified because of pollution in our water and our food, and it's actually trying to open up. Ringing in your ears and pressure changes. Think about being in an airplane. Because you're being raised up too quickly for your ears to pressurize. That's the exact scenario here. So you'll be hearing chatter from different dimensions later on. It's not as scary as it seems, and no, you're not going crazy. Now, obviously, don't be talking to lower level entities. It's as simple as knowing your power and be able to stand your ground by not allowing them in. Fear is what they feed on. That's why we've been trained at a young age to love scary movies and stress. There's nothing wrong with watching scary movies as long as you know that what you're doing. It's like the movie Monsters, Inc. They use fear for their energy, but remember that your higher vibrations are hundreds more times potent than theirs. They can't reach you when you do that, and they lose power. The last symptom that I'm going to talk about today is time deterioration. This is not realizing what time or what day it is, and that's a big part of this shift. There's no such thing as time and space, so your consciousness goes into this weird place where you can't remember anything. It's like it doesn't matter anymore because there's only now. Past, present, and future aren't real because we're multidimensional. So that also means that timelines run simultaneously and are not linear. It makes you become more present, which is the purpose of life. Becoming one with everything around you is a beautiful thing when you can try to drop the worry about what you did or didn't do in the past and what you can and can't do in the future. You are source. You have the ability to become one with everything. I know that there are many more things that I could say in this video with Ascension Symptoms, but I'll stop there. Just remember that it's individualized, and please don't lose your mind like I did at first. I wish someone would have helped me through this and tell me that I wasn't dying. This is all good stuff, but of course we have been taught to lose our minds and Google everything. Let me leave you with this. Google doctoring is not a good idea. It is not your friend. I was told that a million times and I did not listen because I did not want to hear it. I just wanted to figure out what was wrong with me. So trust me on that one, don't do it. You'll think you're suffering from everything known to man, and it's not worth it, believe me. Take care of yourself, don't get stuck in fear, and know that you are actually rising up during this time on our planet. We're moving into higher frequencies, into a new dimension. You are here because you are part of Source, and that part of you knows how to do this shift to go into higher states of being. There are things that are going to be unveiled, and you're going to be shocked at some of the disclosure events that are going to take place in the next year. Don't forget that anything is possible and that we are one. We knew what we needed to do to wake ourselves up for this. If you're watching this, you're already feeling it and you know this within your being. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.